Hello and welcome to Loving Me, Myself, and Life with me, Joni Misiak, and welcome back to the coaching series. Today we're talking about how to balance caring for others while caring for yourself. Now, this is tricky, and I've had my own fair share of struggles with this. And there's so many different things you can do. And what I've learned is making yourself a priority. So what does that mean? It means scheduling yourself in. So schedule yourself in like an appointment. And I actually really, really love bookending my days. So I start my day doing things that fill me up. I call it my morning routine. So I work out, meditate, do some tapping, do my yoga practice. And then at the end of the night, I have me time between an hour to 2 hours, sometimes 3, depending on what time people get to bed and things like that, but usually 1 to 2 hours. And that's what like my bookend day, where I read in bed before going to sleep and journal or whatever I need in that moment. I don't always have that one figured out. It depends on how the day went. Sometimes I meditate again, but it's that time. So those two things are mine. Also, when my kids are home, that is actually when I have the hardest time finding balance. So if you have, young kids at home, it is a tricky thing, but it's including other people in your life. So it's asking for help and support. And what I've learned over the years is when my kids are home for, spring break or winter break or whatever, and they're home for 2 weeks straight where they're not going to school or anything like that, I have a conversation with my husband. We plan different outings. So I have at least some time to myself during the day. Because when I'm working and they're at school, it's no big deal. I have my thing that's filling me up because I love what I'm doing. And I have a really good schedule with that. But it's when they're home all the time and our schedule's all over the place. So I really have found that to find balance is scheduling it in. It's like the easiest thing to do, but at the same time, I know it can be hard. And it could be like, you're like, oh my gosh, I have to schedule another thing in. But what we schedule in is the things that get done. It's the things we find time for. I book my dentist appointment at my other dentist appointment, and then I don't think about it again until it comes up and it's on the calendar. When we put ourselves in the calendar and we make it non-negotiable, we show up. And of course, life happens. And I do have that, like my kids are sick sometimes, or, things happen that I'm like, oh, I can't do this. I pivot. And then I will sit down when I can and reschedule myself in. Because that's what we do with a doctor's appointment, a dentist appointment, anything that we really want to do, we make time for, right? We might not want to go to the dentist, but we know how important it is. So it's rescheduling yourself and when it happens. So scheduling it in. Second of all, get support. Ask for help. Do you have grandparents around that can help with the kids or, different things? If it's feasible, outsource some of your jobs, like getting a cleaning person or things like that. So it's really trying to find a way, because here's the truth. You can't do it all. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. And trying to jam pack everything in yourself can be tricky. So depending on your situation, it's asking for help and support and getting other people in on it. So going back to when my kids are off for long periods of time from school, I actually use, camps and things like that and put them in for a little bit as well, so I can have a little bit more time to just hear my own thoughts. Now, if you're caring for aging parents or other people in your life too, the same goes for taking care of yourself. If you're listening to this, you probably already know the importance of taking care of yourself, because when we're not taking care of ourselves, we can't take care of others as well. So I'm not going to share that bit with you today. It'll be about really how do you balance it. And that's making time for yourself. And the other important thing is that you don't need a huge amount of time for yourself. It comes down to doing the things that really fill you up. So I used to be, this from this mindset that's like, oh, I'll put a face mask on, I'll have a bubble bath, and I'll have these things. And that's great. But they weren't filling me up the way I needed to anymore. Like it was great when my kids were babies and I just needed, a half an hour to shower or to have a bath or to put a face mask on and just be without having to be called on 24/7, right? So my husband would be with my children or grandparents, whatever was working, right? But now I just need time where I can hear my own thoughts, where I don't have to help other people move through big feelings and emotions. My kids come home and they need to decompress from their day. So I even take 5 or 10 minutes before they get home and center myself. So if the bookend thing doesn't work for you, you can even put in 5 or 10 minutes throughout the day to just take time for you. And honestly, when my kids were little, if I knew they were safe and I could just go, I would go to the bathroom and unlock the door. And I just sit there for 5 or 10 minutes for real. Like I just, you feel those feelings coming up where it's like you're feeling overwhelmed or if it's too much or you just need a quiet moment. It's going into the bathroom and locking the door for a few minutes. As long as your kids are safe or whoever you're taking care of is taken care of. Like is safe to do so, But sometimes you just need a few minutes just to be. And that is okay. So, like I said, what works for me is bookending. But throughout my own personal journey, I have learned that what works for me might not work for you and vice versa. So it's really finding out the ways that will work for you. Like how do you want to schedule it in? Is it going to be Fridays? I actually used to take every Friday off just for me. And now that my work schedule is picking up and I'm expanding things and, need more time for my business, I have rearranged things where it's like almost a half day or something like that. But I sprinkle it in throughout my week and my weekends and things like that. But I do find it challenging when my kids are home. That is where the balance, because like I said, I have a really good schedule when it's weekdays and they go off to school for the day and then come home. It's in those other moments and it's really about leaning on other people, asking for support and getting help wherever you can. It's really important. And it's having conversations with your children or the people you're taking care of. So my kids are old enough now that I can have a conversation. If I'm working, they know I'm working. And it's about boundaries. It really does come down to boundaries. First, it's setting boundaries with yourself, honoring your needs, your wants, all the things, honoring you and setting those boundaries with yourself. Because I have a tendency of working a lot. There's actually times where I have so much going on that I'll pull out my computer, sit on the couch at night, put on a TV show, and then work. Well, here's the thing. I'm not doing the whole watching, relaxing thing very well, but I'm working. And then I usually end up going to bed later because I've been working and I haven't actually unwind from my day. So setting a boundary with myself, being like, okay, that didn't feel good. Let me change that. Tonight, I am just doing things for me. I've said this before, like I discovered that I really need TV before bed, like it's just a half an hour, an hour show. It helps me turn my brain off from work. If I don't have that, I'll be reading, but I'll still be thinking about my day too. So I need that little shift. It's how I taught my body of how to, like, oh, the TV's on now. It is time to unwind. But if I'm multitasking, then it's, not working. So it's about figuring out how you unwind. What do you need? What actually fills you up? You don't need somebody giving you a list of self-care items. It's about figuring out what you truly need and doing that. It can even be like a 5-minute, 10-minute thing, whatever it is. But it's finding balance. So again, boundaries. So you set the boundaries with yourself. Then it's having a conversation with people in your life. And then letting them know, what's going on in your life because people aren't mind readers. They don't know what you need and want. So once you discover what you need and want, setting your own boundaries with yourself, then asking for help and support and setting those boundaries too. Talking to your partner, your husband or spouse, or a grandparent and be like, okay, I really need, Mondays for me or Monday morning or whatever it is, but have a conversation with other people in your life, and they can help and support you too. You don't need to do this all alone. And if you want help really kind of tapping into what you need, I have a free self-love masterclass. It's called Reclaim Your Joy, and it's 3 steps to really help you find what you need to reclaim your joy. What is it that you love to do? How can you take care of yourself? So it's better understanding. So it's 3 simple things, and you can get instant access to it right away. There's no waiting for the class to begin. It's yours the moment you sign up for it. So you can hit play and listen to it. It is 40 minutes long, and it's for you to really reclaim your joy and find that inner peace and calm and love again. You'll find that on my website at jodymisiak.com. If this has helped you, please share it with others, subscribe, and thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for being here. I appreciate you, your time, and I'm just so grateful for you for showing up for yourself, and thank you for supporting this podcast. Take care and have a beautiful, beautiful day. Until next time, bye for now.